Hey, good morning, sports fans, and it's another week of college football. Saturday morning, we're ready to kick off, and we're ready to kick off some winners for you. But before I get into college football, uh, just let's ask you a quick baseball question. How about them Cleveland Indians and the under? How about them Minnesota Twins under? Anybody got any idea how they're doing for you? Come on, guys. Jump on the train. It's easy money. Ride it. So we're making a lot of money for people here at Bettor Center. Hopefully you're paying attention. Hopefully you're subscribing to us on Facebook and YouTube, where we can go out there and get you these plays as soon as they happen live from Las Vegas in our nice little handicapping studio. Joining me today are Del Warfield and Tony Gullidge. So let's get right to it. Welcome to the show today, guys. Tony, Del, how you guys doing?
Good morning, Luke.
Doing good.
All right. Listen, NBA, let's start right with the NBA tonight. We got the Celtics and the Heat once again. Celtics open up at 2.5 and quickly bet up to a solid 3 everywhere. So everybody's, at least the early thought is that Boston will, backed up against the wall, get this win here tonight. Total is 207, opened up 207.5, so a touch on the under, touch on the Celtics. Let's get some thoughts from Tony Gullidge on the NBA tonight.
All right, let's go right to it. Game 3, Eastern Conference Final. Essentially, you're looking at a situation where if Boston doesn't win tonight, the series is over. I think maybe once in history a team has come back from 3-0. And typically when you go down 3-0, you just fold up the tent and get swept. So from my handicapping perspective, it's either Boston wins tonight or they're not going to win a game. I think they're going to win a game. Therefore, I will back Boston tonight, lay the points. Pretty much the same strategy as Game 2. However, Boston just gagged that second half away in Game 2. So it left me feeling a little disappointed, but at the same time, look into this next game and try to get that money back. So for me, we're playing Boston.
All right, Tony, on the Boston Celtics tonight. Well, listen, Dell's probably going to have a different opinion. As we know, Dell riding them Heat right now. And but you didn't ride them the other night. You were a little worried. You thought Boston was going to get their one win there. So is today the day that they get that win, or is this going to be a sweep? What do you think?
Yes, I think last time I didn't really ride them because of that line movement, and you figure that the Boston Celtics are probably going to win in this series, right? But I don't know. I think there's too much action coming in on Boston now. I think that this is a really good opportunity for the Heat to kind of just put them away too. Like Tony said, once you go down 3-0, it's really hard to come back. So I'm riding with the Miami Heat today. I'm taking that +3. Hope they win outright, and hopefully that leads to a sweep. So let's go Heat.
All right, Dell, riding that ticket, riding the Heat. It's hard not to ride with the Heat. They're just they're hot and the hottest team. And I'm just going to sit back and hope the Celtics grab a win here today so they can extend my ticket a little bit longer. All right, let's get into college football, guys. Big day in college football, at least for what we've had so far. So actually, to be honest with you, it's not that big of a day. There aren't that many great games. Good news is Big Ten's coming back. But one game that I've kind of set the stage up for the last couple of weeks is the Tulane game and Navy. Navy is at Tulane. Tulane opens up with 7-point favorite. Quick little steam on Navy, +6.5. Total was 49.5. Bet down to 47. We got 17-mile-an-hour winds, so we got high winds there today. And I have a few little thoughts on the game. But before I get to it, let's see what Dell has on the Tulane Navy game. What do you got, Dell?
Yep. So for this game, I don't really think the wind's going to play too much of a factor because these aren't really teams that are going to be airing it out anyways. It's going to be run heavy, kind of pound that running game. Navy's triple option, and Tulane's is, more of a running game too. So I think that under is pretty good. I don't know if the wind will play too much of a factor, maybe for like extra points and field goals and stuff, but Yep, I definitely like the under here. Or I lean under. Um, Tulane being a 6.5, 7 point favorite is just kind of head scratching too. Usually when you think Navy, you kind of think them as a pretty good team, and to be given that way that much points to a Tulane team that kind of lost a lot on offense too. So I'm not going to be touching this game on the side. I lean under, but I'm not going to be touching this one.
All right. All right, Tony, you got any thoughts on this one before I get into my
Sure.
big secrets information?
Most certainly. Always have information on a Navy football game, man. Let's get right to the crux of why I like Navy. They're a road underdog. This team has performed well against the spread as a road underdog for quite a while. I mean, you're going to get an honest effort from them. And I think, obviously, under normal circumstances, they probably would have only been about a field goal underdog here if they hadn't gotten their absolute teeth kicked in by a BYU on that first game. Like I say, I always believe the perception of what you saw is built into the line you see the next game. I think that's the case here. Navy is not as bad as they looked in that opener. And I look at Tulane giving Navy a touchdown and almost give a little chuckle. With that said, somewhere in the mid-range, not a heavy play, not a small play, but definitely a solid play on Navy for me in this game.
I like to hear that, Tony, because I'm coming at you with a large play on Navy today. A couple weeks ago, we went large. I had an executive club play here that I released for free to everybody on the under when Tony got us the information with Texas State on the field at Texas State. Talked to the coach, got us details on the running game. They ran the ball. Game was a dead under. So you're getting another solid winner here right now when you play Navy, because Navy, I understand that they got crushed. They were embarrassed. They were embarrassed, number one, pretty bad. And these are the salt of the earth, the pride of the pride. So they will bounce back today. Navy as a road underdog, only 70% the last 100 games. Navy as a road underdog after a loss, only 73% after, and this is over 100 games, guys, over 100 game stretch. This is not something small. So this is a team that capitalizes on these road games. And, Coach was talking about the first game of BYU. They had COVID concerns. They didn't even have hitting practice before BYU. We missed the boat on that one. But not going to miss the boat here today because they've been hitting ever since. And they have a lot to prove. They've had a long rest, and they have a lot to prove. So not only am I using Navy as one of my top plays today as an executive play, I'm also playing them on the money line. I'm thinking we got an outright win. Tulane last week, big fourth quarter comeback. And I think they're going to be a little bit flat. So it's going to be one of those zigzags, Navy got crushed. Tulane had the miracle win. Now we got Navy getting the points on the road. It's a beautiful position. Win, lose, or draw, you hit this over the next 100 years of your gambling life. You're making money, guys, and that's really what it is. You'll make money. So, but Navy today is an executive play. So I'm starting to show out with a nice, solid winner for you guys. Hopefully you will take advantage of that, and you guys will make yourself a little bit of money there today with Navy. And when you do, maybe you give me a holler, give me a shot for some long-term action, because that's what this is about. This is a marathon. I play the marathon, guys. I'm not about giving you one winner and all of a sudden you got to buy the whole world from me. And I'm not about you seeing one winner to judge me either. This is what this show's about. We're teaching you what we've learned through the gambling years. All right, let's get on to our next game on the schedule, and that is going to be game number 4 on our schedule. Boston College. They are at Duke. Big stack game early with Duke. Game opens up 3.5. Duke has been bet up to 6. The total is actually, I got to check that. Was bet up to this. Opened up 3.5. It was bet up to 6, and now it's back down to 3.5. So a lot of movement on this game. Total 50.5. Now at 51, so not much there, but a lot of movement with this action. Dell, you feeling something on this game?
Yeah, so I definitely like Duke here. I mean, week one, they're really outmatched playing against Notre Dame. You didn't figure that they're going to be doing much on offense, but that transfer from Clemson, I forget his name, but he looked pretty good against a really good Notre Dame team. Notre Dame always has a good defense. I like Duke here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing it or not, but I think Tony likes Duke here too. We'll kind of see what he has to say too, but. If I had to make a pick, I would definitely be leaning Duke.
All right. Tony, you agree?
Yes, I do. I'm definitely playing Duke today. David Cutcliffe did good getting that transfer from Clemson. I think it's going to make a big difference. I wanted to see, the word was he was a good passer coming up, and that's why he wanted to get him. Obviously, when you can poach these guys from teams where they never get to play, a good team like Clemson, that kid wasn't going to get to play. So Cutcliffe goes down there, snatches him away from Clemson, and he looked good against Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame's defense is highly touted. You know, everything Notre Dame does usually gets highly touted, but supposedly they're going to have a strong defense. And I thought that kid looked pretty good. He stood in the pocket, delivered some solid throws, tight, quick throws that should dominate a team like Boston College, who's got a new coach coming in. Their defense was horrible. Offense, not much better. Everything you saw coming out of Chestnut Hill was a dumpster fire. Duke covered the spread against Notre Dame solidly. I really didn't think they were in any danger of getting blown out in that game. They hung with Duke most of the game. They just basically, by the end of the game, were out-muscled. I don't think they're going to have that trouble with Boston College. Look for Duke to get a solid win and a cover here today.
All right. Now, Tony, a little Duke fan today, a little money on the Duke. So I'm a little worried about this simply because Boston College has a long history of doing well on the road, especially on road grass. 12-5 of the last 17 road games, 18-7-1 in their last 26 conference games. So Boston College actually has 17-5 as a road underdog, and 7-3 versus a team with a losing record. But that will be a little bit misleading because Duke's supposed to kind of have that losing record, but they're a lot better than a losing record. I believe they're better than a 500 ball club. So I'm staying away from the game, but appreciate your insights on the game. Couple of reasons why I'm not riding the Duke train. So, but all right. So there we go. What's on the schedule here, guys? We're going to go with the Miami. Let's see. Hold on one second. Eugene, I lost my schedule. Here we go. All right. Game number 5 on our schedule will be Tulsa and Oklahoma State. And Oklahoma State opens up. Where are we at? Hold on. Let me get some moves here. I want to be fresh because we missed that Duke move. Oklahoma State opens up a 21-point favorite. Game goes up to 23.5, has yet to get to that key number of 24. Total opens up 65.5. Now it's 66. And do you guys feel that you need to get on Okie State before it hits that 24? We got to play out here, guys. Tony, what do you got?
Excuse me, let me hit my pipe here for a second. Okay, Oklahoma State and Tulsa. Yeah, this is the Saturday morning wake and bake, guys. You got me up early. You're gonna have to endure me like getting my head straight for the action here. I personally did not play this game. I did make a couple notes. I'm not going to bore everybody with everything, but I'm scared of Oklahoma State. I've noticed in similar situations before, they don't score enough points. I'm looking at a couple of their big spreads over the years where they actually didn't even score the amount of points they were supposed to cover. So I'm in Stillwater. Make sure this game is in. Yes, it is Stillwater, Boone's-Pickens Stadium. Oklahoma State won this matchup 40-21 last year, so they won by 19. I do believe they did cover that spread. We'll see how this goes. Oklahoma State obviously is the choice for under normal circumstances. I think that would be the side to play here, but this is 2020 and just everything's up in the air. I decided to pass this play, but I could see making a play on Oklahoma State, just not me personally today.
All right. You know what? I might ask you that question in 10 minutes and we'll probably get a completely different answer with a whole new opinion. Oh, welcome to Saturday Morning Wake and Bake, gentlemen. All right. All right. The Hurricane, 18-8 as a road underdog, but 5-15-1 versus the Big 12, their last 21 games. And they don't start the season out well, 1-4 against the spread. And I just giving you some numbers around the game. Let's go over to Dell. Dell, what do you got on the game?
For this game, I actually like the over here. Kind of, new season is kind of really hard to go off of what happened last year or anything, but the only thing that's going to be consistent is going to be, the coaching strategies and the pace that they play with. So, I mean, Tulsa is going to be a high pace, hurry up offense game. Oklahoma State's kind of going to be the same. They got firepower on offense. I like this game going over. It opened up at 65. It's up to 66. A really high number. Usually a high number would kind of scare a lot of people off, but I'm kind of the opposite. I kind of like those high numbers. I think that they're high for a reason. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I'm not sure if Oklahoma's going to cover that or not, but I think there is going to be points here, and I like this game going over.
Dell, I am 100% in alignment with you on this. Oklahoma State is a staple of mine to the over when they're at home. There isn't always much to think about on some of these games, guys, but you can't bet it like today's the day that you're going to get rich on it. You just got to bet it when it comes and just bet it consistently and bet it steady and be what they call the steady Eddie. If you can be a steady Eddie on certain things, you'll find over the period of time you're going to make some money. What's so simple about this game? Oklahoma State 78, 38, and 2 to the over in their last 118 games. I don't want to fight that trend. I want to ride it. It's a wave, guys. You ride the wave. So they're not always going to be huge waves, but it rides for a long time, just like Navy. It's been riding for a long time. So as soon as these lines come out every week, bing, hit them in those certain scenarios. And then if you're not crazy about the game, bet it back when it comes your way. So, but I agree with you here, Del. Definitely believe the over is giving you some value here today just for that simple fact. Oklahoma State is comfortable in high-scoring games at home. And usually the home team will dictate the pace of the game. Unfortunately, we don't have the crowd that would make this a lot stronger of a statistic, but we have to work with that this year. So, all right. So next game on the schedule is game number 6 on our schedule, the Liberty versus Western Kentucky. And Liberty surprisingly coming into FBS with a fantastic point spread record. So let's see who's got some information for us on this game. Tony, you got anything with this game?
Yeah, I'm going to play Liberty here. I'm going to try to keep this pretty brief. It's more or less fading the 2 touchdown, 14.5 points that Western Kentucky's laying. I noted that Western Kentucky's offense looks like the kind of setup where they might not score 15 points to cover the spread. They scored 21 against Louisville, but both of them were on special teams. Basically, Louisville couldn't handle the punt. They botched 2 punts. They dropped one that was fielded at the 4-yard line. They blocked another one, which was taken at the 1-yard line. So 14 of the 21 Western Kentucky points last week were basically on special team errors from the other team. So they were just basically gifted 2 touchdowns, and they ended up with 3 touchdowns. Liberty, on the other hand, you touched on it. Big underdogs. They came in getting inflated spreads, and they were covering numbers. And it's because of the offense. They run kind of a pro-style offense where they get up to the line, but they don't snap the ball. They look things over, get the signals in, so they eventually end up using the whole play clock. I watched a few of their games, and they're a slower paced team that's going to use, while they hurry up and get to the line, they don't snap the ball. So, at the end of the possession, that's a 6-7 minute possession. I think the 14.5 points is the way to go. I see no reason not to take Liberty here today. That's my play, Liberty plus the points.
All right. Good stuff, Tony. Flames are 18-8. Their last 26 road games, 15-5 as a road underdog, but usually when they're on the road, they're an underdog. As an underdog overall, 18-7. So they play up to their competition, but mostly because it's overinflated against them. Liberty, very small school, new, so the line gets overinflated against them. Kind of caught up to them a little bit last year. I think they were about 50-50 last year, but this is a good spot because Western Kentucky, they haven't set the world on fire to be, the last few years to be laying these kind of points in this matchup. But they did have not a bad year last year, 7-3-1 against the spread. Dell, anything on this game before we take a quick little break?
Yeah, so for this game, I mean, kind of hard to judge Western Kentucky because they were severely outmatched going against a ranked team in Louisville. So I mean, I think that they might put up at least a couple touchdowns. But with that same mindset, just like Tony said with Liberty, the way that they run their pace, but they slow it down. They take a lot of time with their possessions. I think under will be a better play here than taking a side. I would lean Liberty. I don't give too much credit to Western Kentucky, but they were severely outmatched, so we can't just kind of go off of what we saw last week because Louisville's a really good team this year. If anything, I'll be taking the under here at 52.
All right. Thank you, Dell. Okay, guys, we'll be back in a quick second with Tony C's got a nice play for you. He's not on the street, but he's got another winner for you. I'll release to you here in a minute, and then we'll get into our most interesting plays of the day. This is Bettor Center.
Brad Stein here live from Las Vegas. Join us daily for Bettor Center Live with our professional handicappers, where you get sports information you can bet on. Stop gambling, start winning. Bettor Center Live.
All right, sports fans, we are back. Quick little 10-second break, and we're back live from our Las Vegas handicapping studios going over today's college football action. Gave you a nice couple plays there. Hopefully you're going to take advantage of. You got Navy +7, actually, or +6, but I would probably buy that up to 7 if you can't get your 7 now. But I would also put a little something on the money line with Navy. I think they got a shot to win that game outright. And then Tony comes at you with a play on Duke. And we got an overplay with Oklahoma State and Tulsa. Guys, we're giving you a lot of plays. Hopefully, if you're not writing them down, just click back and you'll get these plays. You're going to have a winning day if you follow this. So now Tony C is not available today for the man on the street. I think he's on his way to China. But we'll find out where he is tomorrow. Where in the world is Tony C right now? But he's texting the hell out of me, telling me Red Sox and Yankees over, Lou. It's deja vu all over again. Over 10.5. Yankees and Red Sox. A list of all these yogi-isms, but we can't get into them right now. So Tony C, all over them Yankees and Red Sox over again today. Hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of that in a baseball winner. So let's get right back to college football. And we have game number 8 on our schedule. South Florida, the Bulls of South Florida versus the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And line right now, Notre Dame 24 and a total of 48. Dell, what do you got on this game?
All right, so for this game, I really like the under here. So you have South Florida versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame showed their defense last week, right, against a pretty decent Duke team that we see are going to be a pretty good team in the ACC. I like this game going under. I think the Bulls are going to be severely outmatched. I'm not too sure about that total at 24. We are catching the bad end out of this because it's at its lowest number at 48 now. I think it was at 50 or like 50 plus earlier in the week. So we are getting a worse number at 48. But I think the worst number is kind of a better number in a lot of circumstances because I think a lot of people are going to be betting that over now that they got a better number. I'm kind of the opposite. I kind of like betting those bad numbers, the worst numbers that we can get. So at 48, I'm going to be taking the under here between the Bulls and the Fighting Irish.
I'm not sure how that one makes sense, Del. You want the best number you can every single time, but if you get on these certain things early enough, you can catch that number early. The Bulls 36-17-2 to the under, as a road underdog, 5 straight unders for them. Now, Notre Dame comes in with under numbers all over the place. And, so you're always kind of looking for a Notre Dame game under. I know I misspoke that a couple of weeks ago because they're playing Duke, and I look for a Duke game over. But you're usually looking for a Notre Dame game under, and now you have them with an opportunity to play under. You're a little bit behind the 8 ball. Dell still thinks you're good at 48. And Tony, what are you seeing on the game?
Well, first thing I noticed is I should have, kicking myself in the ass for not being on the fade the Golden Domer from game 1. It's a traditional bet for me to probably begin fading Notre Dame right out of the gate until there's a reason not to. But for whatever reason, 2020 has been a highly unusual year. I just didn't fade them last week. And of course, they never at any point of that game seemed like they were going to cover the spread against Duke, just laying too many. And I look at my rating. We were talking about how I make my lines last night. I put 21 on Campbell. I had the line at 21, but I was worried. There's a couple of things I was worried about. And then, of course, I don't bet Campbell. And then the final score is 22. Kind of a similar situation here, but I'm going to bet South Florida. I've got this at about a 16-point game. You're going to give me 24 points. I just don't see where that extra touchdown, obviously, a special teams or turnover or some, high-impact play could get them over the total. But I think it's just as likely that some high-impact play will go the other way. So I'm taking these points here. No, I don't. Notre Dame just gets overbet. I don't know how more simply to put it. That if I look traditionally down all the lines of all the major teams in college football, that I compare them to the lines I make, this team always has a line higher than it should be. So you have to try to pick your spots. When they're hot, they're hot. I don't see Notre Dame being that hot this early. I thought they had issues, especially on defensively. It was like good but not great, and you're wondering how good Duke is. So we'll see today. Obviously, it'll be another game under their belt. We'll see how they play. But give me the 24 points, and I'm going to feel good about it. So take that to the bank, South Florida.
All right.
Today.
All right. Dell, what do you think on the game?
He told you.
Yep. For this game, I like the
you
under.
already gave me the play. You gave me the under. I agreed with the under. Maybe I was the one hitting that pipe. Holy shit, short term. Wow. All right. Anyways, okay. So we got a little bit of under, and we got a little bit of South. Tony, a little bit of under from Dell and I on this game. And I will say this about the Irish, Tony. Yes, they're usually always overpriced, but over the past couple of years, they've actually been, worthy of the price. They are, but you are right. They're like the Yankees. Everybody wants to bet them every week, and everybody got Notre Dame. Who don't got Notre Dame today? Used to be the joke around the office, so no doubt about that. All right, so our last football game on the schedule, then we'll get to the most interesting play of the day, and we got Central Florida this time, and this time they are at the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is a nice little home dog. Are they going to be coming off the big upset last week, which we gave you here on Bettor Center? Tony, what are you seeing in the game here today? We got Georgia Tech getting 7.5 points, a total 63.
All right. Again, this is very similar. These spreads this week, I'm just looking at them kind of side-cocked with my head. I think this is too many points to give a team like Georgia Tech. I'm going to, even if we view Florida State as having a down year, let's say Florida State is not a good team. Give Georgia Tech credit for banging possessions per possession on the road against at least an athletic powerhouse. Even if the coaching's bad and the strategy's bad, at least when you look over on the other side of the field, these are big, fast dudes Florida State has. And Georgia Tech not only hung in, they won the game. So now they're going to come back home, although home field might not be that big a deal. I get it. But you're going to give them 7.5 points? I mean, I think this should be no more than about a field goal. And I'm just going to have to take it. Call me the sucker if you want to, but I'm going to take the 7.5 points and expect Georgia Tech to hang in. We'll see how it goes. I'm thinking it's going to be another lower scoring game, similar to the last
All
week.
right.
But let's see if they can push it and make it a more higher scoring game. I like Georgia
Oh,
Tech here.
all right, Tony. Yep, kicking in, baby. It's kicking in. Go ahead, Del. What do you got here?
Yeah, for this game, I actually like the over here. I think, like Tony said, Georgia Tech actually played really well against that Florida State team. They got a lot of yards, moved the ball really well, but I mean, they shot themselves in the foot numerous times and numerous drives, a lot of turnovers. They definitely could have put up more points against a pretty good Florida State defense, pretty bad Florida State offense, though. So it was a pretty good win for them. I like the total here. I like UCF. Pretty explosive offense still. They should be ranked this year again, too. I like the total here, 63 going over. It's going to be my play today.
All right, a little over from Dell, a little Georgia Tech from Tony, and I think the play here is if there is a play for me, it's Central Florida on the money line. If you can tie it in with Dodgers or Yankees, something like that. A couple nice hot baseball teams. Cleveland, maybe not hot, but getting back again. A couple of nice solid favorites. So USCCF should be. They should win this game based on the fact Georgia Tech doesn't play very well at home, number one, but big win last week, and I don't think they're going to be able to pull off another win. So I'll go against that. All right, so that leads us to our most interesting plays of the day. You guys got a lot of picks here today, and you might get a little duped, but with a second play here right now. But Del, give it to me. What are we doing today? Most interesting play.
All right, so for my most interesting play, we kind of talked about it earlier in the week when the man on the street was in North Texas. That SMU versus North Texas game, I still love that under. Excuse me. That over is still going to be my favorite play of the weekend today. So I love that game over. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't think North Texas can stop SMU. I don't know if SMU can really stop North Texas. High pace, a lot of points, over SMU versus North Texas today as my most interesting play of the day.
Very interesting. All right, Tony C., your most interesting play of the day.
Let's go baseball. Try to sneak these in here. I think you're going to find a good one. I think the price was going up since I bet it, so get on it now. We'll play the Cincinnati Reds, hot team with a hot pitcher on the mound. So that's the play. Get on Cincinnati with Bauer as your pitcher as your most interesting play of the day.
All right.
Reds are hot.
All right, Reds are hot, and my most interesting play of the day. We've given you a lot of plays here today, and I'm going to throw one more here at you. But you got Minnesota under, you got Cleveland under, you got Navy +7, you got Navy on the money line. Now I'm going to give you a nice little parlay. I just kind of mentioned it here. You can use Central Florida on the money line. You can use the Dodgers. You can use the Yankees today, a nice little three-teamer that should cash for you. If you want to throw a fourth-teamer in there, and maybe Cleveland. Maybe Cleveland, they're getting the bats back again. So if you want to throw a fourth-teamer in there. So it should be a nice little money line parlay, and there it is. That is your show for today. Lots of picks today, guys. Take advantage of it. Make some money. Subscribe below so this way you can get more winners tomorrow, because we'll be here tomorrow morning with plenty of NFL action. You watched yesterday's video. Got a nice teaser out there. Hopefully you played that. I'll have more teasers, parlays, and picks for you tomorrow. This is Louis Diamond. Thank you for joining us here on Bettor Center. Thank you, Del Warfield. Thank you, Tony Gullidge. We appreciate you guys showing up here every day. Don't forget Tony Gullidge, thegreatwhitecapper.com, and Del Warfield is Warfield Elite on Facebook. This is Louis Diamond. Catch you again tomorrow on Bettor Center Live.